All right, everyone. Welcome back to JPC, Spiritual Talk. It's Jared Campbell. So today, we're going to talk about Ukraine's struggles against Russia in the war. We're also going to close out talking about President Joe Biden. So I got a few articles there. So without further ado, I'm going to get the screen shared over. We're going to get to these articles. We're going to talk about how Ukraine is struggling against Russia. We're going to talk about President Joe Biden and what it's all going to take place. So let me get the screen shared over. Thank you all again for following. All right. So you should see on your screen. So on your screen, this is an older article. It was published back in May, right? Back in May 29th. And so there's a video in here with CNN, right? So Ukrainians on CNN. With Abrams, we are the #1 target of the Russians. They have a lot of problems. So we're going to watch these videos, this older article. So I want you to really pay attention to the video. These two videos we're about to watch. So pay attention, listen, because there's other articles that have come out. And I'm going to try and put something together on why Ukraine is struggling. So here we go. So our first video.
The M1 Abrams, America's main battle tank, a veteran of fighting Saddam in Iraq and desert insurgents. But muddy Ukrainian fields and $500 attack drones, not so much.
There was such a fuss around whether Ukraine would get these, but from the moment the decision was made, yes, through the training, through the time it took to get to the front line, the war has enormously changed.
All 31 America gave are now in one area in the east where Ukraine is losing ground. Training in Germany, the interior in Ukrainian. And while there is gratitude for all US help, they can't pretend this is working.
Його броня на сьогоднішній момент абсолютно недостатня. Вона не захищає екіпаж. Насправді на сьогоднішній момент це війна дронів. Тепер, коли виїжджає танк, його завжди намагаються вразити.
Ціль номер один.
Ціль номер один.
На полі бою, виходить, без захисту екіпаж не виживає.
They've learned the hardest way here in the pitched battle for the city of Avdiivka. One of their drivers lost a leg recently. Off camera, they show us how they're adding active armor plates on themselves. Then there are the shells. Not enough. Of the wrong type for the wrong sort of fight.
Те, що ми маємо, більш розраховано на прямі танкові бої. Досить часто ти працюєш як артилерія, тобі треба розібрати посадку або будинок. У нас був випадок, коли 17 пострілів в хату, вона стоїть.
Better than Soviet tanks, they still say, even though this one, fresh from Poland, is already broken down. Condensation can fry the electrics, they also say. Really, this is a solid gold wrench of a gift. This is a tank for a kind of war NATO would only fight backed by huge artillery and air power. They're being asked to do things NATO never would.
Так, вони б цього не зробили. Спочатку авіація, артилерія, потім заходять танки, піхота. Call the aviation, call the artillery. We have no aviation and artillery. We have only tank. And it's the problem.
They hide feverishly as they're a prime target for Russian missiles. If Moscow knew the trouble these US-supplied Abrams tanks are causing Ukraine, they might not bother and let them keep them. The M1 Abrams, America's main battle tank, a veteran of fighting Saddam in Iraq and desert insurgents. But muddy Ukrainian fields and $500 attack drones, not so much.
There was such a fuss around whether Ukraine would get these, but from the moment the decision was made, yes, through the training, through the time it took to get to the front line, the war has enormously changed.
All 31 America gave are now in one area in the east where Ukraine is losing ground. Training in Germany, the interior in Ukrainian. And while there is gratitude for all US help, they can't pretend this is working.
Його броня на сьогоднішній момент абсолютно недостатня. Вона не захищає екіпаж. Ну, насправді на сьогоднішній момент це війна дронів. Тепер, коли виїжджає танк, його завжди намагаються вразити.
Ціль номер один.
Ціль номер
На
один.
полі бою, виходить, без захисту екіпаж не виживає.
They've learned the hardest way here in the pitched battle for the city of Avdiivka. One of their drivers lost a leg recently. Off camera, they show us how they're adding active armour plates on themselves. Then there are the shells. Not enough. Of the wrong type for the wrong sort of fight.
Те, що ми маємо, більш розраховано на прямі танкові бої. Досить часто ти працюєш як артилерія, тобі треба розібрати посадку або будинок. У нас був випадок, коли 17 пострілів в хату, вона стоїть.
Better than Soviet tanks, they still say, even though this one, fresh from Poland, is already broken down. Condensation can fry the electrics, they also say. Really, this is a solid gold wrench of a gift. This is a tank for a kind of war NATO would only fight backed by huge artillery and air power. They're being asked to do things NATO never would.
Так, вони б цього не зробили. Спочатку авіація, артилерія, потім заходять танки, піхота. Call the aviation, call the artillery. We have no aviation and artillery. We have only tank. And it's the problem.
One Abrams was captured and paraded in Red Square recently. The crew here joke, at least the Russians managed to tow it away. They've been struggling, as these are so heavy. This threadbare army losing ground, perhaps wish they got a gift receipt.
If you could ask the Americans for one thing now, what would you ask for?
У мене єдине питання, чому це відбувається отак довго і частково? Ми втрачаємо час і для нас це смерть.
Machines built at the peak of American hyperpower decades ago, sent half-heartedly it seems, to hold back a fast-changing world. Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN, Eastern Ukraine.
All right. So sometimes truth can be hidden in plain sight, right? We see that the struggles that the Ukrainians are having, that's an older article. So there was a CNN interview, right, where Ukrainian soldiers operating US-supplied Abrams tanks expressed what concerns about several weaknesses in the tanks, highlighting their vulnerability in the current warfare environment. They were noting that the tanks lack what? Inadequate armor against modern weapons, particular drones, making them prime targets for what Russian attacks. Despite being expensive in advance, the Abrams tanks still need to provide expected protection, leading to significant losses among tank crews. This situation has led to criticism and concern with the tanks being withdrawn from the front line due to the threat from Russian attack drones. Washington and Kiev have deployed 31 Abrams tanks to the Eastern Front, but their effectiveness has been questioned due to what? These issues, right? So we're pouring a lot of money into Ukraine. NATO, the United States, even the EU, they're pouring in billions and billions. But we see, what are we seeing? Nothing in return, right? You heard the concern of the Ukrainian soldiers. So our next article is talking about So there was a command report to Zelensky. Russian army advances on all fronts. Record losses of Ukrainian soldiers was 2,000 soldiers in a 24-hour period. They wiped out entire brigades within a week. So we talked about the report to Zelensky, right? So the Russians are making a lot of gains. So to keep this simple, right, the links to the description box. There's a lot of videos within this article, right? So there was a report that was given to Zelensky, right? So they're taking on heavy losses. What I really wanted to show is that if they're having problems with the equipment they're getting, it pretty much shows us why they're losing so many, if that makes sense. Right? They don't have good equipment. So here is a video of Russian artillery has destroyed a temporary base of a battalion of Ukrainian terrorists in the village. Right on that, there's the names. right? So they're calling them Ukrainian terrorists. Interesting rhetoric, right? So let's watch this 26-second video, right? What the Russian artillery is doing. Then we'll get to our next article, right? And kind of compare these. So it should be muted. And it's muted due to the music, right? I don't want to play it because the music, but so I mute it. I can still show it. I'll take a hit, especially on YouTube. I didn't have time today to show all the videos, so I just chose one in particular to show. That's why I always provide the links in the description boxes, so you all can click on the links. You can watch as many videos as you want. But I kind of try to put these together so you can have an understanding. So this next article, right? We may have to translate this one. So a strategic defeat of Kiev. Russian brigades advanced to the heart of the Ukrainian ED and Donbass. Right? So on this one, a significant Russian advance has been registered in the last hours north and south of that town right there on your screen. 7 kilometers now separate the Russian brigades from the main, right there, road, also known as the Road of Life, as it supplies Ukrainian forces on all Donbass fronts, right? So if you want to continue to read this article, right, just click on the links, right? I just want to kind of show you the headlines and show you the videos. This is a video I wanted to show. So a Ukrainian unit is surrendering to the 3rd Separate Guard Special Force Brigade that operates north of that city right there. We haven't shot at anything. We're going to watch this video, and I'm showing this because back in May, when War 24/7 News reported, right, the CNN interview, and I wanted to show you all why Ukraine is struggling. And we're going to continue to talk about this as we discuss more about World War III. Right? So here's this video. It doesn't need to be muted.
Кто такие? А? Ну-ка, руки! Руки, оружие!
I pause real quick. You see them in the blue, that means they're Ukrainian, right?
Ну-ка, не дергаться, только дернешь. В пол глаза! Сюда! Рация, быстро! Телефоны, рация! Ну-ка, да! 4 пленных! Скип, иди сюда, 4 пленных! Рация, телефон, быстро! Раз, тихо! Открывай! Аккуратно! Тихо, рации, вот! Иди сюда, Скип, нашел рации, все нашел! Мы не стреляли, мы ничего. Да? На канал. Мы посидим тут, блядь, и пиздец. Скип! Еще где народ? А? 4 пленных, Скип! Давай, пошел! Голова вниз! Вниз! Стоять! Сидеть! Лежать! Руки! Чтоб я видел, ты последний! Руки поднял! Давай, пошел! Пошел!
So there's more videos in this article, but really what this article is talking about is that it's not really looking good for Ukraine. Okay. And I do encourage you all to click on the links and read these articles, right? Watch some of the videos, right? You know, I come on here and I can only show what I can show because I try to make these videos quick and I like to do less talking and more showing. Like I said, my philosophy behind showing videos is one, you can look at body language, right? You can look at the sound of when they're talking and the sounds of their voice and how their voice is. You can determine things better than just reading an article, right? So always check out these articles, okay? Watch the videos. Okay? We're seeing that our money, our taxpayer money, is being wasted in Ukraine. It's obvious. As an American, as a former veteran, right, and also served in the Iraq conflict, and I'm also a taxpayer, watching my tax money be wasted, right, is upsetting. Now, before we close out, we're going to talk about Joe Biden, right? So this article popped up on War News, which I found this one interesting because War News doesn't really report on a lot of stuff like this. Sometimes they do. It's very rare. So supposedly there's a secret plan for potential Biden replacement. The USA is buzzing. What will happen in the US election, right? So here we're going to watch a video. So the Daily Mail, right? So listen attentively. The Daily Mail claims there's a possible secret plan for the Democrats to replace Joe Biden before the election. So there are intriguing speculations about a potential secret plan among Democrats to replace Joe Biden as the presidential nominee before the upcoming election. The Daily Mail reports that if Biden performs poorly in the debates against Trump, or if his poll numbers continue to drop, key Democrat figures like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, to name a few, might persuade him to step down. This process would be risky and complex, adding a layer of uncertainty to the political landscape. Republican Representative Anna Paula Luna also claimed that it is likely Biden will be replaced as a nominee, a sentiment she says is echoed on Capitol Hill. There are rumors also of a potential plan, once again, among Democrat leaders to replace Joe Biden as their presidential nominee before the 2024 election. With significant attention on the upcoming June 27th debate between Biden and Trump, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has dismissed claims about Biden's cognitive decline, labeling videos of him appearing confused as fake. The debate is crucial for Biden to demonstrate his competence and counter growing doubts. The speculation involves key figures like Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, once again name a few, who may act if Biden's performance or poll numbers do not improve. That's a little bit of some objective commentary. I found another article that was talking about this, right? So the link will be in the description box. So this is the only other one I could find that was talking about this. So we're going to go back here and we're going to watch a video. I want you to listen to this video with Jesse Waters on primetime. I don't listen to a whole lot of mainstream media news, but this one, if you listen, so listen attentively, there's some good stuff in here. Right? So let's play this video and then we're going to close out. So, and then let me know your thoughts. Okay, so here we go.
With Trump today, she joins me now. So he did not praise Hannibal Lecter.
No, much to CNN's despair, he did not. But he did joke about the fact that they were going to report fake news. And ironically enough, of course, Jesse, many of us were there. They didn't want to talk about the fact that he has a plan in dealing with Ukraine, in dealing with our foreign policy debacles that this administration has caused. But it was all net positive, and we're very excited about the polling numbers that we're hearing for November.
What were the policies that he was discussing today behind closed doors with you guys?
I think the number one issue that he has is especially concern for what's happening right now with Russia. Obviously, there's the media really silencing what's happening with Russia warships off the coast of Cuba and also Florida. But I think more importantly, too, he made it sure that the American people would know that what's currently happening in Ukraine and Israel would have never happened under him, and he does have a plan and solution in moving forward. And I also want to point out that he understands that world leaders respect him, and right now with currently what's coming out of the White House, that, you know, a lot of people realize that Joe Biden's likely not going to be the nominee, which is, from what we're hearing on Capitol Hill, Jesse, you know, Representative Kiley had reported that Kamala Harris actually eyeing a run for California governor because of it.
Right. That's the backup plan. So you are hearing also in D.C. that Joe Biden isn't going to be the Democrat nominee?
Correct. It appears that our colleagues are trying to put guardrails on a 2024 presidential election with President Trump. And also what you're seeing is, according to our polling, you know, Jesse, as well as I do, that they've been trying to really paint Republicans as anti-woman, and they're trying to push an abortion crisis right now with the election. And I don't think that that's the case. A lot of the American people know that really this is a state rights decision. And so I think that they know that they're losing. It's very evident at this point.
All right, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, the straight truth from inside the room. Didn't need any spin from CNN. Thank you so much. We always appreciate you coming on the show.
All right. Here's some of my closing thoughts. All right. Ukraine continues to struggle against Russia. Right. The world is about to go hot with World War III. It's only a matter of time. I also want to make a correction from the other day when I was saying, and I had called the Serbian president the Siberian president. I made a mistake. I was actually meaning the Serbian president, who I'm starting to agree with more and more with the coming months. So the correction is, it's the Serbian president, not the Siberian. So I do apologize for that. But the global stage is heating up, right? The 2024 elections is now coming up. There's these rumors that Joe Biden could be replaced. How's that going to look, right? Some in his cabinet claim he's fine, that his thinking is okay. So there's other things that tell otherwise. Some say that the videos of him looking lost are fake. I don't think that they're fake. Then again, who knows, right? A lot of things are happening as we're going into World War III. Our elections are coming up. We don't know how those are going to shape out. We don't know how they're going to look like. Who can the Democrats put in at such a short notice that could beat Trump, right? When Trump is continuing to rise in the polls. Let me know what you all think, right? I think it's all interesting. Right? That's all I have. I'm only doing 2 videos a day. I did my Sacred Legacies, Saint Studies, and Scripture Reads. I've already done that video. This is the only news video I'm doing today because I have to go to Portland for an appointment later today. So I hope you all enjoy, right? Listen to these videos, right? Let me know what you all think. Get prepared. Get right. I love you all so much. I'm out. All right, I'm out, guys. Thank you all so much.